Hi everyone, welcome to this week's literature and vocabulary class. This week's selection is entitled The Smile. The lesson resources you need for this selection are the first one, Student Anthology, and the other one is your literary companion book with the pages mentioned on the screen. The lesson objectives are: the first one is learn new vocabulary words, the second one is analyze text structure and pacing. We'll begin this lesson by analyzing the vocabulary words and their meanings. The first vocabulary word is befallen. The second one is integral. The third one is surpassing. The fourth one is facades. The fifth and the last one is morbid. Now let's proceed to the reading skill focus. The reading skill focus in this particular selection is analyze text structure and pacing. Let's first have a look at what text structure is. What do we mean by text structure? Text structure refers to the way the information within a text is organized. In a narrative, elements of text structure include where the author chooses to begin and end the story, as well as how different paragraphs work together and fit into the overall story. Questions on text structure. Why do you think the author of the Smile chooses to end the story so quickly? The ending happens almost immediately after the narrator sees the man again. I think the author chose to end the story this way because this echoes the shock the narrator feels and lets readers experience the full strength of her feelings. The ending also emphasizes the story's tight structure. At the beginning, the narrator expresses her interest in the young man. She does the same at the end. However, both the man and her feelings about him have changed dramatically. Now the second reading skill focus, pacing. Pacing is another key element of narrative. It means the speed at which a story unfolds. Authors can speed up the pacing by having many events happen quickly. Short sentences speed up the pacing. Conversely, authors can slow down the pacing by including more details and description. Questions on pacing from the short story, The Smile. Describe the pacing in this excerpt from The Smile. How does the pacing reflect the narrator's emotions? This is an excerpt from the short story The Smile. One day, I went for a drive along the coast. I enjoyed the view of the sea along the road. There were birds flapping their wings on the right, and a few ships at anchor on the left. The day was very sunny. Dust collected in the air, and a breeze gently stroked the surface of the sea and shook the leaves on the trees. A possible answer for the previous question could be: the pacing slows down as the author spends time describing the view of the coast. This reflects the sense of calm that the narrator feels on her drive. This excerpt marks the first time a specific event is described in detail. The slowing of the pace causes readers to slow down, which may help them fully absorb the impact of the story's climax just ahead. A little about the characters. First, the man. The man likely was in a war. The narrator says that he is wearing a uniform with metal buttons. His incoherent speech and vacant stare suggest that he may have suffered some sort of trauma or injury, which can happen during a war. The lack of specific details contributes to the sense of mystery about the young man that is present throughout the story. The narrator. The narrator says, "I arose slowly, ate my breakfast slowly." She walks unhurriedly. She no longer rushes because she is no longer trying to see the young man at a certain place and time. Time no longer seems important to her. In fact, she feels that time is standing still and then passing her by. Let's conclude today's vocabulary and literature class by this short summary of the selection. The narrator is a young woman who is fascinated with a young man. She looks forward to seeing him every day. Then, one day, she doesn't see him anymore. After some time, she becomes accustomed to his absence. She stops looking for him, but she doesn't stop thinking about him. Finally, many years later, she sees him when she visits the coast. He's a changed man, and seeing him leaves her filled with disappointment and remorse. This is all about today's class. See you.